Darian Cozier, ESPN Radio 920 here with Al Bernstein. Now, Al, you are the master of the boxing information, and just tell us a little bit of who do you think right now is the best pound for pound boxer?
Oh, at this moment you kind of have to go with Floyd Mayweather Jr. But there's a wild card in the hunt, and that's Rafael Marquez, who's a super bantamweight. His brother Juan Manuel is a great fighter, but Rafael Marquez might be the best pound for pound fighter in the world today. Floyd Mayweather would be right there with him. Maybe they're co-winners of that.
Do you think Floyd Mayweather, if he was to challenge maybe beat Ricky Hatton or face a Miguel Cotto, could he be the best fighter maybe ever out of the welterweight, maybe light welterweight division?
Well, ever's a long time, but I think I'm a big believer that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has tremendous skills, and certainly he's one of the best fighters of the last 2 decades for sure. And in that weight class around the super lightweight, junior welterweight, welterweight division, he's as good as it gets.
What is your outlook as far as offensively going into the season?
Well, I think we're going to be a better football team on offense. I feel very good about our receiving core. I think our receiving core is very good. And we've got a new running back, Frank Summers, who's a big guy that's going to help us out. We're going to be some new guys in the offensive line, but I feel very good about those guys. We open up on the road against Utah State. Huge game for us, and then we come to town and have some great home games. Wisconsin's coming to town, Hawaii's coming to town, Utah's coming to town, BYU's coming to town. So we got a great home schedule and a great schedule.
How is Rocky coming along? Obviously, he was a little banged up last year. Is he coming along a little better going into this season?
Well, he had surgery on his knee after the season, and then he's really doing well. His doctor's given him 100%. He's 100% released to go. Now he's just got to perform at full speed. And we've got to put him through, what you would do in a game, so he can gain some confidence in that situation.
Who do you look at probably seeing the best, coming out of the NFL? Maybe probably early Super Bowl predictions like NFC, AFC.
Well, the AFC, the Patriots did everything they had to do to get their weaknesses taken care of, and getting Randy Moss was a big addition. Chemistry is going to be the #1 question there. Can Moss play under Belichick? If he does, I think the Patriots are shoo-in for the Super Bowl. The Colts are back. They're just as good as they were last year. I think they're the 2 top teams in the AFC. NFC, I think Seattle bounces back this year. I think they have a great year. And, I would throw the Cowboys in there right there since we're talking about them. I think they got a great shot to win the NFC.
You're a big college football fan. I listen to you all the time. You talk about college football. Who do you see as like the dominant teams coming out this year, maybe going to the national championship?
USC has the best players but a tough schedule. LSU has the second best players and a tough schedule. I think Texas has a very workable schedule and a good young quarterback. So much of college football is who you play. In the NFL you have a playoff. In college football you don't, so it's what your record is. The dark horse team is Hawaii. Keep your eye on Hawaii. And I think Georgia will be a dark horse team as well. But I think overwhelmingly USC has the most returning talent.
Obviously, who do you look at as probably the Heisman Trophy candidate as the favorite?
John David Booty at USC, because they have a chance to go undefeated, the quarterback. Brian Braum is the quarterback of Louisville, who I think is the best player in the country. Those two jump out at me. If Michigan has a big year, Chad Henne, the quarterback, will get a lot of run.
Who do you think is the Heisman Trophy candidate for this year?
Darren McFadden at Arkansas. I mean, they've got him in that Wildcat formation, and if Houston Nutt can keep the turmoil down off the field, I think he'll have a shot to do it. So I think he's the best. As a matter of fact, they may have the second best running back in Felix Jones as a #2. So Arkansas is in good hands with their running backs.
Do you think anybody can be the spoiler, maybe upset USC?
You know what, West Virginia's out there. Rich Rodriguez, I think, kind of recalibrated last year and got the offense. If you remember, a year and a half ago or at the end of 2 years ago, everybody that was somebody on the offensive side of the ball was at his place trying to figure out how they shocked the college football world. And then they had to kind of correct. And just like the markets, they corrected, and a few folks knocked them off. But I think that they're back this year. They've got a tandem back there, and that's probably the best quarterback running back tandem in America. So they've got some good skill position players.
How does it feel being named Sportsman of the Year, being honored tonight?
Well, it's great. I clearly understand that I'm just representing the basketball team and the program and all those other people that really did all the work. So I'm honored to do that, but it's about much more than me. The team did great, and really it's about the caring place. That's what's really exciting. When John Hanson called and said the caring place would be the recipient of everything going on today, that made it really special, and really honored to be a part of it.
Going back to your team, do you think this team can make it back to the Sweet 16 or maybe even further?
Well, that's a huge challenge. You've got to, number one, have a great season to get in the NCAA, and then you got to have a great weekend to win 2 ball games and get to that next step. But that's everyone's goal now. Once you taste it a little bit, you want to do it again, and we'll have that as an objective. But a big question is how quickly this young group is going to mature and really understand what they have to do day in and day out, not just on game night, and that it's kind of a next step for us.
Darian Cozier, ESPN Radio 920 here with Connie Bernstein. Now, Connie, tell us a little bit about the Caring Place.
The Caring Place is a nonprofit organization for anyone who is touched by cancer, and that is whatever doctor you have. It is free of charge. You walk through the doors, and there will be programs, meditation, yoga, Reiki, emotional and psychological support. There'll be a fully equipped kitchen so that you can learn nutrition. There'll be a research library so that you can learn more about your disease, and everything is free of charge. And we are bringing this to Las Vegas, and I think it's just a wonderful, wonderful facility.
Obviously, his personal with you and personal with me. My mother went through cancer and was lucky to get over it. It wasn't malignant, so. But obviously, can you tell about your personal experience with it?
I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer 4 years ago, and through my treatment, I became friends with my oncologist, and she had a vision, and she said, "Connie, I'd like you to come aboard on something. I never brought it to life, but I know you want to do something." And she had this vision of a place like the Caring Place, which is a non-medical facility. And I said, I'm there. And we've been working on this for almost 4 years. But what happened, we embraced a board that I would not be standing here talking to you if it wasn't for our board. They are bringing it to life. And it's become a huge passion of mine. And basically, that is it. And then I was introduced to cancer again last September, and I had a tumor on my brain, and Dr. Peoples, he removed it, and here I am. So I just said to myself, I am going to bring this to life. So that's my passion.
Well, this is a great thing you're doing, and we really appreciate it here from ESPN Radio 920. Once again, Connie Bernstein, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.